I'll just let you say it. I'm joining my wife. Wait, let's put that. Are we going?
Yeah, we're going.
Okay.
Yay.
Do you look at the camera?
If it makes you uncomfortable, just look at something else.
Okay. I feel like it's weird if I address people and I'm looking at the oven or something.
Hey guys!
Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 5 of Here's Perspective. I'm your host Amber and I'm joined with my waifu,
Faye.
So we're trying this new intro idea where we do a little catch up on our week because we usually only see each other once a week and it's usually to record the podcast. Mm-hmm. And then we're also going to give like our song recommendations for the week. So we're going to do the song recommendation first. You can go first if you want.
Okay, I'll go first then. So I am going to recommend you guys an older song by the Jackson 5. And it's called Never Can Say Goodbye. If you like Motown music, even if you don't, you should listen to it because I think it's a classic. So,
awesome.
Yeah, Never Can Say Goodbye.
Awesome. My song recommendation is 3 Boys by Amar Apollo. I literally love this song.
Husband, wife, but he's my husband.
Yeah. No, literally that song is so good. I listen to it all the time. I've been taking my hot girl walks this week.
Yeah.
And the song has been playing.
It's been somewhat warm.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I've been listening to podcasts and stuff, so. But that song, 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's got a really good vibe to it.
Mm-hmm. Hot girl walk music.
So, updates for this week. It went by pretty fast, to be honest.
It did.
I feel like it was just a couple days ago that we were here.
I feel like we just hung out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were together for like
really long time, like half the day.
Yeah, literally. We saw each other on St. Patrick's Day, and we're still figuring out the new camera situation.
Yeah, we're having literal technical difficulty. Oh, I was telling Faith, I took my first spin class today. I got humbled real quick. I've never wanted to like throw up from workout before, but the first 15 minutes I was like, and I ate nothing too.
Oh, okay.
Purposefully. If I did eat something, I think I would have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like at all, like you didn't eat at all.
No. I just didn't eat before.
Like right before.
Right before, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, I think that was the best idea I think I've ever had. I was a little scared because I was like, what if I don't eat and I like pass out? No.
That would have been a story.
Yeah. But so school's been just busy. I have gearing towards the end of the year. I feel like
4
teachers are
weeks
always. I know, I'm so excited. But yeah, honestly, nothing too crazy this week. It's just been very busy with school and stuff. But yeah, how about you?
Pretty much the same thing. I feel like, because we only have 4 weeks left, it's like grind every day, which, I mean, that is how school works. So,
welcome to college.
Grinding every day. Trying to think. Yeah, just working. I have a job on campus, so that's been pretty chill. Not too much, like, on top of everything.
Right.
But I usually have a hard time not zoning out sometimes, but this week it's been even harder, I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I just need to rest.
It's that last like month of school because I think we're all feeling it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want to be done so bad.
Part of me is already checked out.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, no, like we have to finish strong.
Yeah.
Like you got this.
Yeah.
But I did start a new show yesterday because I did have some time for myself.
Yeah.
It's a Amazon Prime show.
Because she's a big Amazon
girl, please. Anyways, not even because of that, but I just remembered like that Amazon Prime has like its own movies and shows and stuff. And it's called Daisy Jones and the Six. It's about this band in the 70s and like how they got famous and stuff.
That's very cool. So, is it like a documentary kind of thing?
No, I think it's all fictional. But like for that show, they like made a whole album, like, because it's not based on an actual thing. So like they made an actual like fake album. And
what like genre of music was this band?
70s, so like rock and roll.
Oh,
so
did you listen to the album?
No, I mean they play it like in the show.
Okay.
So
interesting.
but I want to afterwards. I probably will, because I get attached to TV shows after I end it. And then I get like sad and I'm like, oh.
Yep, I be searching up the cast and then
Bro,
like, what other shows are
the
they
interview
in?
stalking and all the
it's funny.
I go crazy with that.
Okay, so hopping into our podcast this week, we're kind of linking it to how we're feeling this week. I feel like we derive a lot of inspiration from our personal lives.
Yeah.
Obviously. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about like burnout versus being too comfortable, which I feel like a lot of people experience, and you know, probably towards the end of the school year, probably feeling a little more burnout than anything. Or and also just like the importance of prioritizing, like all of those things we're going to try to all kind of encompass and talk about everything. So the first topic we kind of brought up was like, do we think it's necessary to challenge yourself in every season of your life? And I thought that was very interesting that you brought that up, because I never really thought about that. I never thought about that.
Really?
Yeah, I think I was just like, oh, this is what I need to do, so I gotta do it. Whatever I gotta do to get it done. And so I never really thought about it like that.
The reason why I asked that question is because I feel like this year for me especially, I'm realizing, well, I think in high school I definitely had like destination syndrome. I feel like I've talked about it before, but like in high school I'd be like, well, at this age, like I am gonna be chilling, like literally like nothing, no problems. Like I would really believe that, like, okay, by 25 I'm gonna be successful, rich, whatever, which is not bad stuff to think for yourself.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
But I didn't think about like, okay, there's always gonna be like something that I'm working on, like in my life or on myself, like in every season of life.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm not realizing that until like this past year. I'm like, wow, there's always gonna be like some challenge or like some stressor, and not to be like a party pooper, but you could like take that and look at it as a good thing. Like I'm always gonna, like I'm not gonna peak basically.
Yeah. No,
like I'm always working to be the best version of myself, and that means challenging myself to further grow myself. I am rambling a little bit, but I hope that makes sense.
That did make sense. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, but then you, on the other spectrum, I think it's like, we talk about how like, is being too comfortable a bad thing? Because when you slip into this constant routine, or you're just in a place where you're like, I feel good right now, and you're kind of scared to go outside of it. Is that like a bad thing? So maybe that's like where you maybe need to think about challenging yourself more. But it's like, it's hard, because it's like, where do you find the balance of like, I need to challenge myself enough to where I don't feel like, I'm just at this plateau in my life, versus I'm overworking myself all the time, I'm always tired and stuff. So like how do you deal with that? How do you find that middle ground? And I think that's where it's really important to like prioritize and put your energy in places where you feel is most important. And stuff like that.
And that's good. I mean, for me at least, I don't exactly have all the answers for how to balance that, because I mean, even this week I found myself like, even though like I was working hard in my classes, I caught myself like still like slacking in some areas, which isn't to say you should overwork yourself, but I just like had this moment of like, you can do better, not in like a toxic way, but like don't let yourself just like I can't think of a word, just like not plateau,
just settling for like, just
well, in my head I'm like, maybe you should always be climbing towards something, don't just like
So like it's almost
sit
like you're
there.
just crawling around the bare minimum, like doing the bare minimum.
Bare
almost.
minimum,
Yeah.
that's the word. Don't
Yeah.
just do the bare minimum. I mean, there are some weeks where I just have to do
You
the bare
have to,
minimum, and
yeah.
I'm like dying out here.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's also good to push yourself when you can.
When you can, yeah. And I think in each phase of your life, you have to know kind of like, I literally just lost my train of thought. This is so bad
I was
today.
like
I'm
getting the
rambling.
brainwaves. I was like, we're both
this is really bad. I usually don't have this.
It's because we're burnt out this week.
I'm still waking up from nap brain. Is what
Dude.
my issue is. I was trying to say like each phase of your life, you have to continually adjust and like relearn. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So I was trying to say
Change
before I
is
had my
consistent?
brain crap. Yeah, so I feel like at different stages in your life, so like when you're in high school versus when you're in college versus when you have to graduate college and go get a job versus when you become a parent.
Ooh.
All of those are different phases of your life where you have to kind of change your priorities and change how much you push yourself. So it's like it's a reassessment and it's a trial and error, I think,
Ooh, I
all
like
the
that.
time.
Trial and error.
Yeah, so like we can offer our advice up to this point, but I think it will still fluctuate
Yeah.
for the rest of our lives.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, you just started your 20s. I'm about to start.
Mm-hmm.
People always say, like, it's the trial and error decade. So, yeah, we're only saying what we know so far.
Yeah. We'll just embrace it. But yeah, I think it's, learning what to prioritize and learning where to put your energy, like how much of your energy you should be putting in what places. I think that's something that also comes with like maturity, because I think even last year, if you ask me, I was putting my energy in places where I really probably should not have been putting my energy. I kept saying yes to everything, even though when I know I should have said
don't
no.
get me started.
Yeah, such a yes girl, like, because I was afraid of like missing out or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
But
Because
now-
at that time, well, for me too, last year, it was like, I want to maintain or make more friendships.
That was
which
your
isn't
priority.
bad.
Yeah.
But I was like, at a certain point, letting it kind of lead my months.
Right, that was definitely like pretty high on my priority list, because last year was my first year at Grand Valley, so I was like,
oh yeah,
I need to make friends, I need to make my community down here. I'm so far away from home, like I just need,
I want to be liked.
yeah, exactly. So that was pretty high on my priority list, but I think at one point I slowly realized it's like consuming all of my other priorities and dragging me away in other aspects of my life where I should be putting a little more effort and energy. And I think that's where it's like, depending on what phase in your life you're in, because like right now this year, I think my social stuff has like decreased by probably like 70%. It's really sad, but that's just because that's not my priority anymore. I have a very clear, like, I have to just get through school first, and my program demands a lot from me. So it's like, that's my priority. So I think every like season in your life, like you said, we have different priorities, and we kind of have to shift like where we're putting our energy so that we're not burning out, but also not doing the bare minimum,
Yeah. And I agree with you, because I mean, yeah, it was the first year in a sense for both of us, like in a, I guess, college environment. So I was doing the bare minimum in school to be able to like push myself way too hard in other areas, which, would you say you regret it, or do you think, it's just something that you learned after this
I
year?
have zero regrets. I have none, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have met you.
True.
I wouldn't have met like all the other people. I wouldn't have met my roommates. I wouldn't have. And now I also I'm like, okay, I've experienced this now, so I know what it's about. So I'm not craving it anymore.
Yeah,
because I think I had a lot of like firsts last year, so I was like. So then now I'm just like, okay, I know what it is. It's for me or it's not, or like I want to keep doing this or not. So I don't regret anything, and like I think it's very cliche, but like I try not to be like, oh, I regret doing this. Like or that. I always try to find like the positive in it, even if it's really bad, because like
That's
I feel like
good.
living with regrets is like the worst. So when in doubt, just do it. If it's not for you, then you know it's not for you, but at least you can walk away saying, at least I tried it, instead of wondering about like the what if all the time.
I think I was in my comfort zone in terms of kind of doing the bare minimum in school, but I think both of us, well, because you're introverted, right? Or in the
I
middle?
actually took I took that like personality test. I think I'm like 55 extrovert and 45
Okay,
introvert.
because I'm like 50 something too, like almost basically in the middle for both. But that being said, like I would say we pushed ourselves last year in like trying new things, and whether or not that hurt me in the end, like I would say I learned a lot last year. And I think it's interesting because now, at least my sophomore year, I feel like this period of my life has been like kind of this quiet like grind. Because I don't like do like hang out with people like every single minute of the day. Like I'll have like time put aside for that. But yeah, learning to prioritize what I value more these days. And also because school is getting real. I'm like, dang.
Literally once you, especially I mean even after this year, like it only gets worse.
Girl, you're about to be done soon.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's usually like the last 2 years and maybe bleeding into your sophomore year a little bit too, that it gets a little intense. But that's where it's like, you have room. You have that year to explore and figure out stuff. I have no regrets. I did have a lot of fun last year, and like it didn't like drastically affect my academic. It's not like I was like, failing classes, I still kept up with everything.
I could do like better.
I could have, yes. Could have went to my writing class a couple more times. That was at 8 a.m. Oh, that was a lesson I learned. Never take an 8 a.m. if you never have to.
Not me having 8:30 lectures this semester.
Oh my god, I was like, I'm
because
never
of the professor.
Yeah.
But not next semester.
Nope, never again.
Anyways.
Okay.
What else? You said...
We talked about how our priorities have changed a little bit, and like I said, I think that's something that will continually change. I mean, next year it could change. Over the summer it could change. Definitely has changed a lot from like high school and stuff. I feel like we could talk a lot about that, but I won't go into detail. But now I feel like I definitely try to seek more non-tangible things in my life, like seek like things that bring me happiness and stuff. I used to low-key kind of be materialistic, which is probably why I had a shopping issue. I mean, I'm still working on that.
I'm working on it too.
But I definitely can hold myself back a lot better than I used to. But I used to be like, I just want this thing. Now it's like I'm spending money on things that will help create memories more so than anything else. And I'm finding a little more like happiness in like the little and the small things.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. Blinking, but I agree. Like, I feel like I'm also more appreciative this year. Just like noticing smaller things. And also, in some ways, my social circle has gotten a little bit smaller, but it also shows me like, okay, like the people who are still here, we both truly care about each other on both ends. It's not like a one-sided thing. And I don't people please as much, I'd like to say. I'd like to say.
I agree. That's what I tell myself.
Obviously I'm still working on that a little bit. I think we talked about this in one of our episodes, but I think I'm doing better at like protecting my personal peace and realizing when I need to give myself rest, or I'm doing too much here,
or when you have to like pull away from people. Because that's great. Me too. Again, I feel like that all comes with like maturity and time.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Because
Last year, my head was in the clouds at some point.
Yeah.
Just not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I definitely had my boy crazy phase.
I remember your boyfriend.
So,
Yeah.
priorities are set straight. Not. Never mind. I could go into a whole ramble.
Another podcast topic idea.
Independent women. Fear of rejection.
Fear of
Yeah.
rejection.
We did talk about how we tried a lot of new things
Yeah.
last year and put ourselves out there to a certain extent.
Mhm.
But, or at least for me, like I said, this year's more of a quiet grind. In some ways, I'm like, I found myself being too comfortable or just not like doing certain things because I'm like, well, I guess I'm fine like where I'm at. Like I'm not like I'm not like down bad. So
down bad.
Sorry, I would use wow, the way I use that word now versus last year.
Yeah, last
I mean,
year.
like I'm not in a bad place in life.
Right.
So like, why would I?
Go
put
out of
myself
my way.
out there and-
Go out of my comfort zone to try to.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's crazy. I feel like we could honestly do a whole podcast about like fear of rejection and how it holds you back. I think I've definitely struggled with that like for my entire life. I feel like low key and like still to this day, like it is terrifying to fail at something or be rejected. I think in high school that really like if there was one thing I do regret in high school, I just wish I just gave less of a crap about what people thought.
Bro, that's me.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my biggest regrets in high school is not giving my 100%. Like I did what
was safe.
I was comfortable,
in high school
safe.
all
I
the
did
time.
what I was comfortable doing.
Yeah, which was so.
I wish I did
dumb.
more.
I wish I did more. Yeah, because I remember like I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this because like I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm like scared to get to know these people and I know they do this and I'm like what are they gonna think about? I just it was so bad. Like if there's one thing I do regret is that I think it was like maybe senior year of high school. That's when I finally like sort of started to branch out and be like, I'm just gonna do it. And I think it's really important like who you surround yourself with.
Oh yeah.
And how that can hold you back or push you to be better. And I think that is maybe the biggest difference between high school for me versus now. I think the people I surround myself now really do push me out of my comfort zone, force me to do things out of, that I usually wouldn't do and stuff because I'm like, okay, like, because sometimes, like, for people like us, I feel like we just need a shove. Like, I can do it. I can. I
Even
just
something
need a
as small
shove.
as like you trying the spin class.
Exactly. I had like girls from my program, like they picked me up and I know I was like, I can't let them down, like I can't cancel on them, like she's coming to pick me up. And that was like a big thing. So like I think all of those, I think it's very important who you surround yourself with, and that can make or break, whether or not you push past your boundaries. I guess.
I think fear of rejection, I'm still working through that, but like I think I am realizing more like to change my mindset towards it and view it as lessons, whether or not things go in the way that I want them to. And I mean, even last semester, I really was not like approaching it in like a healthy way, because at least like this is all throughout my life. Like when I face rejection, I'm like, you could have done better. Like you're better than this.
It really knocks me down. I used to be like really upset with rejection.
Yeah. So I'm still working through that because I feel like it's so ingrained. Like ever since I don't know, I was little, I would be like holding myself to a standard that sometimes you can't check all the boxes. So I'm still working on approaching and handling rejection in a healthy way. And there was even a point where I was like, well, maybe I should just not be positive about something so that I won't be disappointed.
set your, well, what was that saying?
Set your expectations
low so you
low.
won't be, I think Zendaya said it or something.
Oh, are you talking about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man movie, yep.
It's good to stay positive.
Be positive.
Because that gives you motivation. But, you know, there's always the reality of things not going your way.
Right.
And I think for me, what's helped me handle it better is, okay, like, this is a lesson that I can learn from.
Right.
Character development.
Yeah.
This is sort of toxic of me, but sometimes when things don't go my way, I just go like, well, character development episode.
No, I think that's actually good because it's like you're acknowledging like, hey, okay, this is gonna add to my life in some way. And, you know, however you cope with it, I think that's a pretty healthy way to cope with it. I feel like if you're like, okay, like,
yeah,
that's how I try to I feel like I'm kind of a rational person, so I'm like, I try to rationalize it in my head. I'm like, okay,
That's
this didn't
good.
work out.
'Cause
What did I gain from this?
yeah,
And then,
I'm just trying to incorporate that pattern into how I handle things that come my way. Because I swear to you, even last semester, I was just being way too hard on myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, chill.
Oh, trust me, this was a work in
Chill.
progress. I'm still working on it. With certain things, it's like, especially bigger things in my life, I know if it like doesn't go how I want, I'll literally be like, what the heck? Like, I'll be like back in high school me again.
I'm dramatic.
Just,
I'm like, oh,
like,
everything's
my life is
horrible.
over. Like, I feel the same way. Oh, also another thing that I wanted to bring into that we didn't write down, but I feel like anxiety is so highly linked to rejection, like, or fear of rejection. Yeah, like, I get so anxious when I take a test. Why? Because I'm scared of failing.
Oh, yes.
I get so anxious
Test
when I have to walk
anxiety.
into a new group of people. Why? Because I'm scared they're not going to like me, or they're not going to... If every situation that I feel anxious in, it's because I'm fearful of some sort of rejection or failure.
Yeah, fear can have such a chokehold on me sometimes. I literally just wrote this on my whiteboard like a couple weeks ago. Such a cheesy quote, but it's like it goes something like, if fear is the only thing holding you back from doing something, then you should do it, because like that's a stupid reason for that to be the only reason.
And I
what
think
if
like literally 90% of the time, that is what's holding a lot of people back from a lot of things. Like, it's just crazy. It's such a mind game too. It's like you can usually 9 times out of 10, like, you can physically do it, and like you're smart. You have all the tools, everything. You can do it. It's just that mind barrier that's stopping you.
One other example I can think of, like right now, is a certain anxiety I'm trying to overcome. Is I get gym anxiety because I get intimidated. I'm intimidated. I keep my head down in there. But cause like I can go and like do what I need to do there, but sometimes I get in my head and I just get super self-conscious.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my gosh, like...
Do you go by yourself or do you have to go with someone?
Oh, in the beginning of this year, I would go with people because I was too scared to go by myself. Now I go by myself.
Good.
But it is improvement. Yeah. Slow but sure. But sometimes, like, I just don't go to certain machines because I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, they're gonna think I'm a newbie, or like, no. There's too many people. What are they gonna think?
Yeah, it's really crazy how we always put ourselves in other people's heads.
Yeah, because no one is telling me like, oh, you look stupid right now, or why are you here?
Most of the time, people don't even look at you.
They don't. Like, everyone's doing their own thing, but in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, all eyes are on me right now, which is not true.
Right.
So yeah, I think anxiety is linked to that.
So yeah, I feel like it's a constant battle every day to try to fight that. It's like, I think once you stop caring about what people think and stop seeing rejection as such a scary thing that you should be afraid of, I think you'll become a new person.
Yeah.
You can do some crazy stuff that you maybe thought you weren't capable of doing. Because like I feel like when you do get over that barrier and then you do that thing, it's like an instant confident boost. It's I just did that,
For
and now I'm like,
sure.
okay, what's the next thing I can conquer?
Yeah.
You know.
Do you have an example you can think of like? Wow, I'm proud of myself. Even if it's like a smaller thing, like I did this or I made this.
I think, there's a couple things. I feel like, there's been some very busy seasons in my life where I've been balancing, like, what I feel like the entire world on my shoulders. And I was proud about myself for that because I was like, I did that. Like, I did everything. Like, despite everything that was going on, I was like, okay, I can handle physically and mentally a lot more. I'm, like, a lot more stronger than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing was, honestly, going on that trip with my friend.
Oh, yeah.
I was like...
You were alone.
Yeah, we were alone. It was just me and her, and I was like, dang, you know what? Now I can go out of the country by myself.
Like, after college, bye.
Yeah, bye. But that definitely gave me a lot of confidence. I was like, yeah, I'm able to do this. Like, plan the whole itinerary. We drove a lot, handled the whole airport, all that stuff.
Gosh.
It was just like a lot, but I was like, yeah, I definitely learned a lot, and I was like, okay, like I am capable of doing this stuff, and it's not as scary as it seems. Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I used to be so bad at driving, and I used to be so terrified of driving. That is a huge thing. Like 17-year-old me would be so proud of how far I've come driving wise. Because I used to be so terrified. Like, my dad would be like, you need to get your driving hours in and stuff. And I'd be like, but I don't want to. I don't want to drive. No. He'd be like, you want to drive? But no. He's like, when are you going to ever learn to drive if you never drive? I go, true. I would make up some dumb excuse and be like, oh, I got 7 hours of sleep last night. I need to get 8 before I can drive.
Wow.
Or, like, just dumb stuff. And it was just literally because I was scared. But, again... that's where I feel like fear was holding me back from that. Once I got it, I was just like, I just have to do it. And then,
yeah. Constantly pushing yourself.
How about you?
I think with the gym example,
That's
obviously
a good one.
I'm not yet where I want to be yet, but the fact that I'm even there, because last year I would go like so little, but I've always wanted to like take more initiative with being active, but I just get too chicken at the gym.
Yeah.
So with that, and I think in the past year, probably like looking into dance as a hobby more.
Ooh, yeah.
Kind of random, but like...
Yeah, you did that class, which honestly, I don't think I would be
yeah, going to Elise. And not to say that I'm some expert dancer now. No. I just... It's not even that, because, like, I'm mid, guys. But I found, like, another thing that I enjoy and, like, enjoy growing and working on.
Right.
And from being scared to, like, dance last year.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, VCA dance and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, joining, like, clubs in school to try dance out. From now, like, choreoing with Kelsey and Carmina for FASA dance.
That was really good.
Like,
yeah. That's a big one. Yeah.
Proud of myself.
That you should be proud, because like honestly, like you took like a kind of like a drop-in class, right? On the east side.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of courage. I would be very intimidated.
You with me
I would be
time.
like,
beginner hip hop release.
Is there a pre-beginner?
I think there's like a foundations class too.
Okay, take me to that.
I'm noting that. Okay. But yeah, there's always more challenges ahead, which I think is good, because like if you don't challenge yourself, then life is it can get boring. Like
it is boring.
You're just gonna do the same thing every day without pushing yourself towards a certain thing.
Exactly.
Whether it be like academic work or like
yourself,
social or
yeah.
yourself related.
Yeah, I agree.
Get pretty boring.
Always gotta push yourself, because I think it's like it's weird, because like I do love a routine, But that definitely gets boring. Like, a routine is not fun unless you, like, spice it up with something new or something like that. So I think there is importance to routine because then you'll have discipline. But with that, I think, again, it's just all about finding balance. With that, I think you need to add in stuff that's still, like, something that makes you a little nervous or something that stresses you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of just going through the motions every day. So I think a little bit of stress and, like, fear, whatever, all those emotions, I think a little bit of it is healthy. Like, I don't think you should go through life just feeling nothing. Like, that would be...
Because then, well,
I'd be sad.
That's not an interesting show.
No.
If your life was a show.
Exactly.
But anyways, I make that comparison too much, like, main character, like, character development episode, or who is the new character in the whatever.
Would people watch my show if my life was like a reality show?
Oh my god, I'd be so rich. What I was gonna bring up while you were talking about fear can be good sometimes. I was watching this podcast like a couple weeks ago, and it was a take that I've never heard before that led me to writing that quote down on my whiteboard. Is like, because I feel like prior to hearing that, I thought of fear as a bad thing and only a bad thing. Like, I don't want that in my life. Like, no.
Right.
Like, I need to get rid of it as soon as I feel it. But I do think that without fear, would you even be doing some of the things you are now?
Yeah.
Like, it's just another source to push you to do something.
That's great.
So you could either, one, listen to it and fold and just wallow in self-pity, or you could take that fear and push yourself to grow and try something new.
Yeah, and I think when in doubt, try to take the latter route, you know? Because I think, again, that also leads back to, like, if you don't, like, if you're so scared of something and then you don't do it, I feel like at one point in your life you're going to be like, what if I did that, you know?
Yes.
So then it's like that regret, and I feel like living with regret. I mean, I always like watching, like, these people randomly interviewing, like, really old people on the streets, and they're like, what's your number one regret in your life? And they're like, not doing more stuff, like, not taking that risk and stuff, and, like, and having to live with the regrets later on in their life. It's like, that terrifies me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be that person, because you will get to a point in time where it's like, even if you wanted to do something, that train's gone. Like, you can't go back in time and do it. So then you literally, you just have to live with, like, that constant, like, what if I had done it, or that regret. Whereas if you did it, even though if you failed, at least you can be like, all right, well, I did it.
You looked into that path.
Yep, you looked into that path, it didn't work out, or maybe that path led you down a different path, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's good.
There's always endless possibilities when you try something, whereas if you never try it, then it's just a dead end, so.
Wow, oh my gosh, that was very wise words from Amber. That was good.
Yeah.
I was gonna add on to that, but I already blanked out. I feel like today is just a series of us blanking out and then having golden nuggets.
Golden nuggets here, there, yeah.
But right now it's like...
The sky looks really pretty right now.
Oh, it's purple.
It's like purple and blue ombre. Honestly, Michigan has great sunsets and sunrises. I will give her that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does a great job with that in the summers.
Yeah.
But it's been great all day today.
Yeah, it has been.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Not just getting sidetracked. I think that's pretty much what we wanted to cover.
I think it's going to be a shorter episode, but I feel like we packed a powerful punch in a small amount of time.
Yeah. I agree. I think to end off, what's one way that you want to challenge yourself this coming week?
Ooh.
It could be in any area. It could be like a big thing or a small thing. Like, I want to cook something new, or a bigger thing. Like, I want to do this in school or whatever.
It's a constant. I mean, every week I feel like I just need to. In clinicals, it's very intimidating, and I feel like I'm very timid sometimes, just because I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and so then I'm just like, I'm just gonna not do anything. Sometimes I just step away. So I think I'm going to try to be more present in clinic, in the fact that I'm going to be more proactive. And even if I'm scared and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just going to be like, can you just let me do it anyways? Just so that I can get a feel for it. I did do that this week once, and I was like, okay.
Baby steps is better than nothing.
Maybe just push myself, trust in myself a little bit more too, just be a little more confident, because I feel like, dude, literally we had like midterm evaluations, and where the radiation therapist like had to evaluate my performance as a student, and I think the biggest one was like, have more confidence. He's like, just be confident. He's like, you got it.
Yeah.
You're just so timid about it that it's like, and I'm like, I know, but I just feel like I know nothing. So I'm
I get it.
Yeah, it's very nerve-wracking, because I'm like, I'm dealing with real people, so I don't want to mess up. But it's like, the point of clinicals is to mess up and then learn from it. Yeah.
Embracing that reality. That's good. Yay.
Yeah. How about you?
For me, let me think. I want to try to use more machines. To be honest with you, at the gym this past week when I do go, I've just been doing cardio related stuff because I'm too scared to go to the machines, because sometimes I would, but this week I just have been in my head, I'm like, oh, I can't go today. Nope.
Yep.
Next time.
So this week you're gonna ease your way into the machines.
Even if it's just like one.
That's something. Okay. It's something. Yeah. It is like definitely very intimidating. I felt that way too, but
you got over it?
Yeah, I did get over it for the most part.
That gives me hope.
For the most part, yeah. I feel like if I maybe went, I feel like I'm okay now. It definitely is still a little intimidating when it's super crowded.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, this is just awkward. There's people everywhere.
Like when you have to wait at the wall. Like,
so definitely still have my moments, but you'll get there. I know you will. I'm proud of you for going by yourself, because I know... I remember you telling me, like, at one point, you're like, I can never go by myself. And I was like,
you're right.
Yeah. So.
Celebrating the progress, but also, like, pushing ourselves. Yeah, which, low-key, that the gym thing relates to me also being timid. So, gonna pound that in the head this week.
Try to be more confident, have a little more self-confidence. Yeah, it's hard, but we'll get there.
We'll see how it goes. We'll update each other too.
Sounds good.
Maybe I don't know if we'll film next week. It depends on how busy we are. Yeah. Play it by ear.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I think that is honestly going to be a wrap on episode 5. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Yay. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Bye.